So yes, we're gonna start off with Night Call. I have not played this before. I know it's on games. It's on Game Pass on the PC, and I've been meaning to play it, and I just been waiting till I could actually. Sorry, just looking at my microphone for a second. I just wanted to play it when I could actually stream it. So I don't really know much about it. I know it's supposed to be kind of like a story-based game. I think it's like character interaction, dialogue-based. Yeah, let's go with balanced. I don't need too much challenge, but we'll see. I might be bouncing around between different games tonight. Just depends. Why is my... Okay, they're both logged in. Never mind. I should be paying attention just in case here. Apparently we're a cab driver that solves mysteries? I'm not exactly certain. But my guess is I'm gonna find out. Doctor. Oh. Here? Or can you hear me? Or do I need to speak up? I spent 2 weeks in a coma. Coma? I was the victim of an assault. A serial killer is on the loose in Paris. The bullet touched your liver. Oh man, touched it. Didn't go through it, just touched it. Into an induced. Voice becomes more distant. It fades. Probably because... Did they... Who knew what that weird triangle is in the middle? Catch the judge? Oh, I guess maybe it's supposed to be showing context of the discussion, maybe? No, okay. He was dead before you even got out of your cab. Silent for a second, very awkward second. She hesitates. Police would like to see you as soon as possible to ask you some questions. Yeah, because we're probably a suspect. After all, you're the only one who's survived the judge. You need to rest. Leaves the room. Voice resonates in the hallway. Okay. So the cops want to come in and they want to, like, I'm sure they want to interview me, and the doctor's trying to stop it. Which I get. The doctor's job is, you know, first do no harm. being in the hospital room, you realize anger is made of a combination of pain and exhaustion. Anger is a feeling we know all too well. Wow. Days go by and a month later. Night 1. Okay. Got a bit of a problem. Ooh, excuse me. Clear my head, stop thinking about it all. Huh, I know. Tell you the story of his taxi fleet again. Probably good to just let him ramble. It probably makes him feel good. Can we go over everything again? Points the equipment on the dashboard, the meter, the GPS. You haven't been in a taxi for weeks. Maybe you really do need a refresher. You spot potential customers and try to guess where they'll be going. Then you decide. Okay, so then you drive. Talks about work, he talks about work. That's all. When your shift's over, we do the numbers, and that's all. Pretty simple. Alright, no overtime. We're in France here, and there's rules and regulations. You might not see it that way, but no one likes having a driver who hasn't slept for 24 hours. Fair enough. I know you're gonna do a good job. And then he's killed. I don't think it's a good idea. You shouldn't be driving. Murder's still out there. We think he's going to come back for you. Could have seen your face. Ooh, excuse me, man. Never fails. I get in front of the camera, I start the stream, I get the case of the yawns, something fierce. Never fails. This is the other reason I said I'm starting off with this, because there is a good chance I may switch to like a Gears or something like that. And it's primarily because I want to play something where I'm not falling asleep on camera, because that's bad. And I may not stream too long tonight. Daylight savings is going to really fuck me up, and I got to get up early to stream tomorrow. So there's that. Every minute spent in your taxi is a minute lost. He gives you a smile, half ironic, half serious. Smiles. Boss opens the door, exits the cab. You watch him cross the street and enter the fleet garage. A couple colleagues are milling about. Taxis are coming and going. Okay, they all ignore you, consciously or unconsciously. You are branded. It's back to the night shift. Back to life. Back to reality. Despite it all. Okay. I'm heading to Charles de Gaulle Airport. The passenger is alone and waiting for you on the sidewalk. Okay. She gets in the cab and whispers, "Hello." Okay, Perva. There's no handbag or suitcase, just a small handmade sign with an Indian name printed on it. Charles de Gaulle, please. She's young with a soft and slight accent. Her face shows no emotion. Her fingers play with the small gold chain around her neck. It is the only piece of jewelry she has on. You drive, glancing back at her from time to time. Her head seems to be elsewhere. Everything all right? Nods her head, cracking a tiny smile. It's really early. First planes come in are the worst. Everyone's exhausted, half asleep. Yes, exactly, and she sighs. I must confess, I don't really want to go there. Tiny smile lights up her face for a split second before disappearing. Ah, family? My future husband. Well, future, I've never even met him. Oh, damn. Her accent suddenly becomes stronger. You know this habit well. Just before confiding in you, passengers tend to relax into their natural accent. I'm sure he's a great guy, as they say here. Sadness appears in her voice. But I don't know him at all. My parents chose him. It's crazy, isn't it? Are you shocked? Yeah? Sad smile washes briefly over her face. It's tradition, or at least it used to be. My parents are a bit old school even by current standards in India. I chose to study here and not in England like my sisters. She flashes a smile. I fell in love with Paris and decided to stay. I almost never go home. Actually, this is home now. Probably gonna have to let my cat out here in a second. Excuse me. Anyways, my parents insist I meet him. He decided to make the trip, saying he had a meeting as a pretext. I see. No, you don't understand. It's just the way things are. I knew it would happen one day. They've been talking about it for ages. I try to avoid the subject. It's understandable from their perspective. I mean, it worked for them, right? He sensed something bubbling up. Anger before she freezes. Some people refuse to let their emotions out. She slowly regains control of her body. What day trips would you recommend outside Paris? Nearby? She nods. Okay. Versailles, of course. It's really beautiful. Definitely worth it. Her face lights up. Oh yeah, it's perfect. I'm sure he'll like that. Or there's Fontainebleau. There's a huge park, very wild if he likes hiking. I don't really know. She smiles shyly. He preferred to say nothing. The airport is not much further. Something about the young woman makes you feel uncomfortable. She looks as if she's about to scream, but she's holding it in. Time passes and silence fills the cab. Which terminal? Your question startles her. Terminal C... 2C, I think. It's definitely 2C. The flight's coming very early. Yes, very early. Thank you. You park the car in front of Terminal 2C. Passenger grabs her sign and exits the cab. She pauses for a second as if she was about to say something. Then she disappears. Yeesh. Okay, wow, we're going all the way to the other side of town. Jesus. It's a good fare. Two women getting in the cab give you their address. Oh, cat. Ugh. They say nothing as you start the car. Faint scent of alcohol hangs in the air. They've been drinking. After a moment of silence, the younger of the two breaks the silence. So what do you think about him? Who else? Of course him, not the bar. Who else? Of course him, not the bar. Well, I'm not sure. Strange sound escapes her. She sighs. He seems pretty dumb. Dumb? How so? You know, dumb, as in the doornail. All but staring at himself in the mirror over the bar when he went to get drinks. But does that matter? No, not really. He's got a good body, good looking, lots of energy. He's got sort of an animal vibe, like a panther. I really like that style. You really like that style? Passengers exchange a look. The older of the two gives her friend a smile. You know exactly what I mean. They reach free of the other's hand in the backseat of the car. The gesture is full of tenderness. A moment's silence. The older woman clears her throat. What about you? What did you think of him? The young woman gives herself a minute to think. I don't know. He was heavy. Too sure of himself, and he spends too much time at the gym. Did you get that bit about... Yeah, please. The innuendo about sexual performance? A short mocking laugh escapes her. He was pretty heavy-handed with all his expertise on yoga and orgasms. True, though. Strong pelvic floor muscles can't hurt. Well, anyhow, he was all preachy. You should write a book, The Perfect Gift for Your Ex-Husband. They burst out laughing. When the laughter dies down, the younger of the two resumes talking in a more serious tone. Anyhow, like I was saying, she looks at her friend intently. Is it really that important? I mean, we're looking for a donor. Not a father, not a lover, not a guardian, or a godfather. Nothing but a donor. Yeah, just a donor. She casts a glance in your direction, conscious all of a sudden they aren't alone in the cab. She goes on, lowering her voice. Yeah, but still. If I had been a date, I think I would have been out there in 5 minutes flat. I do yoga, meditate 6 hours a day. I went to Tibet to learn the ancient art of... And serfdom did exist in Tibet before the 1950s. I checked on Wikipedia. I thought Buddhists were supposed to be curious and open-minded. He was like some old conservative dude in the body of a young Brad Pitt. Pause again. Like you were saying, does all that really matter? Her friend nods. Two young women are lost in their respective thoughts. You know, I'm not against that kind of stuff or anything. It's up to him, but if he wants to be a drag with all that yoga and meditation bullshit, I don't have a problem with that. She gives her girlfriend a reassuring look. Anyhow, there's no way that's going to be passed on to our daughter. Or our son. But it's going to be a girl. I can feel it. And yoga, it's not genetic. We'll have to ask Dr. Vidal. Yes, I bet he'd really love that. He'll think we're messing with him. He said we could ask him anything. Going to tickets for a couple of idiots. Besides, it's impossible. Pompousness cannot be passed on to children. The younger woman doesn't seem convinced and makes an exaggerated pout. So you're saying an ear for music? Yes, that's passed on. But pretentiousness isn't? Okay, hold on a second. I gotta get my cat out, so I'll be right back. Hey everybody, sorry about that. Like I said, had to get the cat out, and then I went and I had a piece of chocolate. A mini Mounds bar, exactly. Exactly, okay, so if you don't want to believe me, she leans towards you all of a sudden. Sorry to bother you, but did you hear what we were just talking about? Some of it. No need to feel embarrassed or anything. We were talking out loud after all. Her friend lets out a sigh. Come on, leave him alone. I was just asking. Alright, so my wife and I are meeting potential donors in order to conceive a baby. Our partner rolls her eyes. And we were wondering if you thought pretentiousness could be passed on to children. Genetically. Leave him alone, Emil. Or Emily. He's a taxi driver, not a geneticist. Don't get all worked up about it. I'm just asking his opinion. No, it's impossible. Patcher flops back into the car seat. So the answer is no, is it? You're no fun. Seriously, we should have taken another cab, driven by a genetics expert. She bursts out laughing. The younger passenger leans forward towards you. Sorry. My partner doesn't mean anything by all that. We've had a bit to drink, and it's the first time for us tonight. We're meeting donors. We pull up the client's address and cut the engine. No problem. Passenger seems relieved. I'm a cab driver. I'm used to all kinds of funny stuff. I can imagine. Have you been driving a cab for long? You avoid her eye. Yeah, you could say that. The passenger pays for the ride. She lets out a sudden guffaw and can't help adding. Anyway, thanks for answering. Come on, Emily. That's enough. As her friend tugs her arm, Emily starts to mumble to herself. I definitely think we should ask the doctor just in case. We need a second opinion. You wait until the two women have entered the building, then start the car. Alright, got some good money. The door suddenly opens and a woman gets in the back seat. Wow. Having a good night? For a second you freeze. It's one of the cops working on the judge's case. She grins at you. Her voice creaks. You remember seeing her at the hospital. Something already bothered you about her then. Or there. You know, it's actually pretty crazy. For weeks, I've been saying to myself, there's something off about you. Something not so nice. I dug around, mulled it over. Bugged all my fellow cops about it, because I was sure you lied to us. She whistles to cut you off. Hey, I'm talking. She's a cold sneer on her face. I'm going to be frank with you. She leans over to you. I don't think you're the judge. Nah, I just can't picture it. She squints like she's trying to make you out from far away. Like you'd have gone on to the extent of hurting yourself. Yeah, between us, it's a bit of a stretch. She stares at you. But not enough of a stretch for my chief to stop going on and on about you. Seriously, he talks about you all the time. If I didn't know better, I'd think he'd had a crush on you. She smirks. No, I think he's more interested in your profile. In prison at 17. Okay, this guy's kind of interesting now. An icy chill fills your gut. And for murder, too. You open your mouth, but nothing comes out. Since you got out, you kept a low profile. But you're lying about your name and your address. I checked. It's normal, you'd say, if they get word of your time served. No loan for your permit. No lease for your car. Meaning no second chance at life. Jesus, she's a pain in the ass. Her voice becomes softer, almost warm. I personally like guys who want a second chance. No, I like guys who fight for a second chance. Basically, I like guys who are willing to work for me. She leans forward, her shining cat-like eyes narrowing. My chief wants to go to the prosecutor with a first and last name, with evidence. Actually, knowing him, he's not so hot on evidence. So I'll give you info. Victims, suspects, medical reports, some photos that are a bit... She makes a gagging noise. You have to be discreet. Keep it between you and me. Interrogate. Ask questions. Dig around. Never done this. Don't worry, you're already keener than half the squad. And don't forget, I'm not asking you to make an arrest and deliver the killer wrapped up with a bow in front of the station, okay? You're no Batman. You're just here to give me more information. She rummages around her pocket for what seems like forever. Here, take my card. I'll call you in 3-4 days just to check in. We'll chat. And I'll let you know if I have any new info. She takes on a didactic, paternalistic tone. Like she was giving you a list of recommendations for the 100th time. Don't get caught. Don't get arrested. Also, I wouldn't recommend trying to leave Paris. I know what you look like, and I know who your friends are. You could either be the solution or the problem, my friend. It takes a minute to scan your face, your emotions. If I have to, I'll go check in on you-know-who. Her smile is biting. That reminds me. Did you know you've done time? You shake your head. She snickers. Oh, my little dirtbag, cover your tracks. You cover your tracks well. She acknowledges your silence with a nod. Oh, I think you've got a handle on our little deal. Any problems? I turn you in. I send your picture to all my friends in the media and every asshole in Paris. Your picture with your name on it. Your real name. Anyone close to you will have their places searched. They'll be put under house arrest, spend nights in jail. You have any idea how tense things are with that fucker's trial underway? You know just what she's trying to get at. Come to think of it, your last names are almost the same. You could be brothers, actually. I'm nothing like that terrorist son of a bitch. Let me tell you, with that face of yours and your handle, they'll welcome you with open arms. You're no right. I know we have no right. She takes on a serious tone, businesslike. I want to catch this killer. I want to drag him to court, ruin his fucking life with a bang. I can't botch this case. You got me, and neither can you, right? Obviously. Well, great then. We see eye to eye. So you can just say you're my informant, my CI. He ripped open your gut, you saw your own insides. You were in a coma. Yeah, you have plenty of reasons to want to get back at him. She furrows her brow. Yeah, I think you're actually going to do what I tell you to do. You investigate, ask questions, listen to all the rumors, and you come up with a list of suspects. She lays her hand on the door handle and freezes. Oh, right. And don't get fired. Without this cab, you're worth nothing to me. Glare at her. She puts her hand up and you can hear the words behind it. This conversation never happened. Not a word to anyone, obviously. Not a word. Well, that worked out pretty poorly. So we're now at the beck and call of this lieutenant. Fucking bitch. You sit alone for a while, teeth clenched, dry-eyed, ears buzzing. Shit. On the back seat, the cop left a pile of papers. Sorry, I'm just looking at an achievement list for this game right now. Oh, lots of secret achievements. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Oops. Shit. Key in the ignition. Motor running. Radio on. Crackles. Turn it off and start driving. Talking to passengers might unlock new documents and clues for your investigation. You will find them back at your studio after your shift. 6 clues discovered available in your room. Okay, so we're in our room. Okay. You take a second and enjoy the silence of your studio apartment. Outside, the city is slowly waking up. You can still hear the hum of the taxi buzzing in your ears. You know the files Bousset gave you on the table. You throw the files Bousset gave you on the table. On the wall, you hung up the corkboard where you used to pin up photos of your nephews. They've been gone since you got out of... Plain and simple. Jot down all the pieces of evidence, connect them to the suspects. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. It's like you're building a story about each subject, trying to understand their motives. Understand how he or she got into this situation. I love looking at that stuff. Like, it gives you all the performance stuff, CPU, all that kind of stuff. Wish I had a temperature gauge. Like, if it could pass on the temperature, that would be nice. It is what it is, though, you know. Okay. Your neighbor flushes the toilet. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see the pipe shake. Crack your knuckles and get to work. Let's see, a picture of the crime scene. Picture of crime scene 2. Picture of crime scene 3. New clue. Let's see, killer's height, that's the same. Message on crime scene, you deserve this. Time's up, killer. I don't have anything else on my desk. Okay. I mean, am I supposed to move these things around? So it's like all of them meet the killer's height. Okay, there we go. Get rid of some of the... Oh man, yeah, I'm already starting to feel it. Again, man. I don't know why I'm so tired. Wow. I got up early. Sorry. I'm just trying to drink me some soda and wake up a little bit. I don't know if I'm supposed to do anything with this. That's my question. I don't know what to add. You know, I don't know what to put. Is what I'm getting at. I would like to... I was looking to see if I could find anything in the way of a hint to just kind of make sure I'm heading in the right direction. But apparently that's not going to be the case. So I guess I'm ending the night right now because I've done all I can. I don't really have any other ways I can go about it. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You open the sofa bed and lie down. Oh, Jesus, man. That sounds awful. Smoke Dead Sea. I like the artwork in this. Yes, I am taking some captures. Well, I hoped I was taking some captures, but I don't see them here, so maybe not. I took that one because it's funny, because the coach has no hands. Let's see, did it refresh? Nope. Huh. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. Your brain is running at full speed. Your body aches, and you are in pain. You can tell you need to get more sleep. You glance at your investigation board. It looks awfully empty. And you're sure this is the best. It's too soon to say. You shake your head, and your mind wanders for a second. Your eyelids flutter once again. Once, and you're asleep. You open one eye. Fragments of a dream are still lingering. We're doing a circus act. Maybe mime? Ooh. Excuse me. You're not so sure now. Let's see. Yeah, so we got some interesting information about him. Not a ton, but some. Okay. Night 2. Holy shit, that's a lot of people. Alright, so first I'm gonna go over here. I give a ride to a cat? That seems awfully weird, but okay. Park a few streets away from the Argentinian embassy. You wait there for your contact. You sigh. Seems so odd to have a contact. So excessive. This guy is one of your regulars, poker buddies, a night watchman at the embassy. You get out of your taxi and walk towards the big metal gate. Clean lines. Really a 20th century, maybe. Lots of wrought iron. The gate opens and someone moves towards you. They indicate you should follow them. The person's face is hidden by an oversized hoodie. Your heart starts beating faster. What if it was... You walk into a narrowed, covered passageway. Probably the entrance to a parking garage. The man turns around and lights up a cigarette. The lighter lights up his face for a second. A young man with curly hair, pale skin. He looks young, very young. That'll be 250 euros. For the intel? Yeah, for the intel. He laughs, strange guttural sound. What'd you think this was, a date? You want information on Gorodischer? I got info on Gorodischer, and it'll cost you 250 euros. So what'll it be? For that price, you hope the intel is good. You pay. Listen up, because I'm not going to say it twice. Gorodischer is definitely a colonel from the junta. One of the few who wasn't arrested and put on trial. He's responsible for torturing dozens of political opponents. He tortured and killed them. You know, We don't like him much here, but the rich Argentinians in Paris love him. They really respect him. Respected him. The difference doesn't seem important to him. Yeah, if it makes you happy. He looks back at you. There's one last thing. I read in the newspapers that the killer wrote a message in chalk. Time's up. It was a slogan at the end of the junta. Or junta. I can never remember if it's a junta or junta or junta. A sort of watchword from the opponents. It was time for them to go. You get it? You nod. I got it. A second later, you're back in your taxi with a hole in your wallet, but with new information on one of the victims. If you follow this lead, maybe your investigation will move forward. You start the car and get back to your shift. Okay, so I got all these people. Let's see. I think I'm supposed to know who all these people are I'm picking up. It's not like it puts a note on who they are. All right. You double park and wait for your next passenger to slide into the back seat. He looks at you like he appreciates you and your taxi. He gives you his address. You start driving. A few words are exchanged. The weather, taxes, traffic. Then you can tell it's coming. The inevitable conversation about the killer. Some bits of information, rumors, things overheard. You might make a mental note of what you've heard. Who knows it? Who knows? It might come in handy. Oh, shoot. Sorry, my leg's itchy. Your passenger doesn't make a sound for the next few minutes of the trip. It doesn't bother you. You have enough on your mind. Your investigation, the judge, Busset. You're overcome with a craving to smoke. You nod slowly and glance at your passenger. Calm and still, he seems far away. Everything okay? Yes, thank you. He slowly turns his head towards you and gives you an odd look, like he's disappointed that you're talking to him. He watches you closely for another minute and turns back to look out the window. Keep your eyes on the road. Silence becomes heavy. All of a sudden, you feel a strange sense of camaraderie with your passenger. You look at him quickly in the rearview mirror. He doesn't look familiar at all, and yet, it's like you know him. And a second later, outside light shines on his face at a weird angle. It looks like he's smiling. A few seconds later, you drive down the street. He straightens up a bit. You park in front of the number he gave you. He pays his fare without a word. Door opens slowly and he smiles at you. You can tell it comes to the bottom of his heart, despite how uptight he is. You're really a swell guy. You weren't expecting that. But by the time you collected your thoughts, your passenger's already away. He disappears into a building. A moment goes by before you turn the key in the ignition. He tipped me. Wow, sorry, tired. The passenger who entered your cab slams the door and stares at you intently. Where are you going? I don't know yet. Although the real question is, how can you help yourself? Do we know each other? She gives a sour laugh. Don't play innocent with me. If I were to say to you, her voice is slightly raspy with an odd metallic sound, October 27th. That's the date, the night of the attack, the night you... Could this woman be the judge? 10:46 p.m. No, the attack took place later. Does that ring a bell? You nod your head. Yes, it does, miss. Don't you miss me? Dang. Not another word. She waggles an accusing finger at you. Last October 27th, you were in this very cab, driving a fare, and you committed a crime. That's right, sir. A crime. Oh, Jesus. Listen. Her voice goes up a notch. Believe me, you don't want to interrupt me. I spent the whole day working like an idiot for that rotten newspaper. Do you have any idea what I do for a living? I'm a sub-editor, Mr. Taxi driver. I correct mistakes that a bunch of moron journalists make. There isn't a single one, not one, who knows how to write a proper sentence. I had it, really had it, and on the night of October 27th, you cut me off. I couldn't care less. I'm simply telling you my story, my problem. You cut me off the night of the accident. I almost died that night. She grinds her teeth. You shudder. I crashed my car. My boyfriend's car, that is. The same guy who made yet another comment about women drivers. The neighbors called the police that night. I made such a scene. To think that guy, the guy dared calls himself a feminist. She pauses for dramatic effect as a disturbing smile spreads over her face. Her voice is suddenly noticeably quieter, almost fragile. The next day, no more boyfriend, no more car. I messed up a job interview with a major news outlet, a paper where people know how to write, where they follow the basic rules of French grammar. Imagine just for a minute I could have stopped correcting copy for a bunch of morons. She takes a deep breath. But all because of you, because of your cab. Everything changed the night of October 27th. A sad, faraway look comes over her. My life has never been the same since. Forced to go live with my mother while I went apartment hunting, so I started looking for you. Back of your neck breaks into a sweat. You can feel cold, clammy droplets about to drip down your spine. I started asking around, bribed one of your colleagues into giving me your number. A droplet of sweat starts sliding down your back. Then I found your address. First one, that is. You shiver as the drop reaches your boxers. But that's your business. What matters is I did eventually get your other address, the real one. The droplet has reached your tailbone. You started shaking. First, I admit, I was planning on going to your place. She shrugs her shoulder. Her voice is softened a little. Just maybe to spit on your face or something like that. And then I thought to myself, no, Ludivine. Maybe the guy deserves a chance. You never know. So you're going to apologize. So go on, give it your all. Take your time. Take a deep breath. She breathes in deeply and then exhales like that. I don't remember what happened that evening. And I screwed up. Sorry. Shit. She heaves a sigh, dispelling her anger all at once. I don't know what to say. You were the night. It was. Her voice is slowing down. It was. A smile lights up her face. It was exactly what I needed to hear. I've been thinking about it for months, going over and over it. Every second of the accident. Telling myself it could have been different, less complicated. More, I mean, less, but you know. Good. Good, good, good. Thanks. All her anger has evaporated. No more looks that could kill, shimmering rage or grinding teeth. My friend was a jerk anyways. And then this job, maybe it wasn't so great. She gives you a little smile. I tended to try to get all worked up. You noticed. And sometimes I take things a little too far. That too. In Paris, I guess we're quick to forget about being nice to each other, about being polite, and for a taxi driver, you're a real sweetheart. She gives you a short laugh. This is what I suggest. I'm going to exit the cab. I'm going to go out for a little walk in the cold to get my mind off of things. I have to learn to, her voice falters, manage my anger. It's eating me up. She shakes her head, and then without another look your way, goodbye. Door opens, then closes. You're alone in the taxi, your head spinning slightly, as if you had a drink. Just one, but something really strong. You briefly try to remember. Nope, nothing. Only once you start the cab. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna call it there because I am getting tired and I need to get up in the morning, and I apologize. I know I wish I could go longer, but I am very tired, and with losing an hour of sleep, this is gonna suck. So I do want to thank everybody who came by. I apologize that it's a short stream tonight. It's just where I'm at and what I have to do. So we will be here, like I said, in the morning. I'm pretty sure tomorrow doing Sea of Thieves. We'll find out for certain once I get online or get closer. I'm still trying to figure out the time exactly, if it's 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. I'm trying to figure out the time shift, so that'll cause some sway. So anyways, we'll be back, like I said, tomorrow morning. I want to thank everybody who came by that lurked. It's all good. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.